Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFC North lately, you know things are heating up. The division has been a fierce battleground for years, with the Detroit Lions making big strides to reclaim their dominance, the Minnesota Vikings always lurking with their talent, and the Bears, well, they're constantly looking for ways to step up and turn things around. But there's something brewing right now that could shake up everything in this division, and it's all about one player who has a very unique history with the NFC North rivals. I'm talking about Za'Darius Smith. Yes, the same Za'Darius Smith who's been a thorn in the side of the Bears quarterbacks for years, and who's now potentially on the verge of becoming a Chicago Bear himself. Let's rewind a little and look at his journey. Za'Darius Smith, a defensive end with a relentless motor and an innate ability to get to the quarterback, has spent a significant chunk of his career terrorizing the Bears. From 2019 to 2021, he was with the Green Bay Packers, and during that time, he became one of the league's most feared pass rushers. His ability to generate pressure, hit quarterbacks, and create turnovers made him a nightmare for any offensive line. He's tallied a total of 69 sacks in his career so far, with a peak season in 2022, when he played for the Minnesota Vikings and was responsible for a good number of those sacks. But it was his time with the Packers that really set the narrative, as he accumulated 40 sacks in 57 games. That's nearly a sack every game and a half, folks. And if you remember, those Packers' defenses were always formidable, thanks in part to Za'Darius' ability to disrupt the backfield. But here's where it gets interesting. After a stint with the Vikings, Smith was traded to the Detroit Lions last season, and even in a new environment, he continued to show why he's still one of the top pass rushers in the league. Despite playing just 8 games with Detroit, he managed to rack up 4 sacks. Not bad at all considering the limited snaps. And let's not forget, Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions' star edge rusher, was also putting up impressive numbers with 5 sacks in just 5 games before suffering a broken leg that sidelined him early in the season. So when you look at that, it's clear that Detroit's pass rush could use some reinforcements, especially with Hutchinson returning soon. Now, the NFL rumor mill has been swirling, linking Za'Darius Smith to a possible move to the Bears. Why? Well, because Chicago's defensive front could really use a boost, especially on the edge. The Bears have been quietly building up their roster, and adding a veteran like Smith might be the missing piece to really turn their defense into a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. And here's the kicker. Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated mentioned that Chicago has shown interest in him. During a recent mailbag, Breer pointed out that the Bears are eyeing potential edge rushers, including Smith, especially when they start putting on the pads and getting serious in training camp. They're also looking at players like Montez Sweat and Dayo Odeyingbo, but Smith's experience and proven production make him a very attractive option. And folks, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Smith isn't just a pass rusher, he's a 3-time Pro Bowler, which means he's been recognized among the best at his position multiple times. His stats are impressive: 173 QB hits, 85 tackles for loss, and 69 sacks in 140 games. That's consistency. And even at nearly 33 years old, he still has something left in the tank. Last season, he tallied 9 sacks, which shows he can still bring the heat. The Bears, with nearly $15 million in salary cap space, could easily afford to bring him in, especially considering his previous contract was around $23 million for 2 years. It's a manageable price for a player of his caliber, and given Chicago's need for a veteran pass rusher, this could be a perfect match. But let's talk about the bigger picture here. The NFC North has been a division in flux, with Detroit making waves under Dan Campbell, and Minnesota always having talent on offense and defense. The Bears, meanwhile, are in a bit of a rebuild mode, trying to find their identity, and adding a player like Za'Darius Smith could be the spark they need. Imagine him lining up opposite Montez Sweat, who's also a significant addition this offseason. The combination of these two could make the Bears' pass rush one of the most feared in the league. Opposing quarterbacks would have a tough time trying to escape the pressure, and that could lead to more turnovers, more sacks, and ultimately, more wins. And here's a little strategic insight. If Smith joins Chicago, it could also serve as a blow to the Detroit Lions. Remember, Detroit's biggest need right now is at the edge position, despite Hutchinson's return. They haven't made many significant moves at that spot. They drafted Ahmed Hassanin, but he's a rookie, and the team's depth at pass rusher isn't overwhelming. So if Chicago manages to sign Smith, not only do they get a veteran presence and a proven player, but they could also be helping undermine their division rival. It's a classic case of division rival rivalry, where both teams are trying to outsmart and outmuscle each other in the offseason. Now, looking ahead, the Bears' coaching staff is eager to see how these new pieces fit into their scheme. The addition of a player like Smith, with his pass-rushing skills, could significantly enhance their defensive line. He's known for his ability to rush the passer from different angles, his relentless pursuit of quarterbacks, and his experience in big games. And if he can replicate or even improve upon his past performances, the Bears' defense could become one of the league's top units in the upcoming season. That would be a huge boost for their overall team strategy, especially since their offense is already showing signs of growth with Justin Fields leading the charge. But let's not forget, the NFL is a business, and player movements depend on a lot of factors: salary negotiations, team needs, and how the player fits into the long-term plan. Smith's age might be a concern for some teams, but for a team like Chicago that's looking for a veteran presence who can contribute on third downs and provide leadership, he's a perfect fit. With his experience and production, he can be a game-changer, especially in key moments. The Bears could see him as a guy who can step in immediately and make an impact, especially in passing situations. So fans, what does this all mean? Well, it's an exciting time. The NFC North is going to be even more competitive if Za'Darius Smith joins the Bears. It could shift the balance of power, making Chicago a more formidable opponent for anyone. It's also a reminder that this team is serious about competing now, not just rebuilding. They're making moves to win, and bringing in a player like Smith would be a statement to the division and the league that the Bears are here to stay and to contend for a playoff spot, and maybe even more than that. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, it's clear that the Bears are making strategic moves to bolster their roster. The potential signing of Za'Darius Smith isn't just about adding a player, it's about adding a veteran leader who can elevate the entire defense. His track record, his ability to get after the quarterback, and his experience in division rivalries make him a prime candidate to bring that edge the Bears need. And with the NFC North getting more competitive by the year, every advantage counts. As fans, we should be excited about the possibilities. If Smith comes to Chicago, we'll be witnessing a player who's still got plenty to offer and who could help the Bears make a real push for the playoffs. It's about turning potential into results, and right now, the talk around Smith's possible signing is one of the most intriguing storylines heading into the season. The Bears are clearly aiming high, and this move could be the difference maker that propels them into serious contention. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. Do you think Za'Darius Smith is the missing piece for this defense? Are you excited about the idea of him joining the team and facing off against division rivals like Detroit? I definitely am, and I believe this could be a game-changing move for the franchise. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come.